Okay.
Sure.
Just to address the first one of the things that Sampson mentioned, since some of us have advisory councils and a liaison, some of the information should be able to go from that liaison to the council, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
So we're not violating any kind of,
Correct.
we will not be in direct contact
Correct.
with the council member, but through the advisory
Can
council.
you speak about that, Samson? Because I think that's an important distinction. Because again, a part of these conversations are so that a part of this initiative that I'm kicking off is I really want to be able to demonstrate. This is administration. This is what you guys do.
But
day to day.
not all departments have, but Betty,
But Betty,
Recreation and I
Recreation,
do. I don't know if
Senior.
any others.
Correct. I'm talking more of official requests,
Okay.
such as cell phone list. Your board liaison is not going to convey a cell phone list from your department over to city council. So I'm talking about official
Okay.
administrative requests.
Nothing as far as calendar of activities or stuff like that.
Nothing
Okay.
like that.
Very good. As far as the senior center, we're busy all the time. After the winter snow, we're trying to get so that each month now is theme related, right?
Yes.
So we did February with the highlights being Heart Month and also Black History. March was Good Nutrition, Irish Heritage, and the end of the month, for the first time for us, was Women's History Celebration,
And we have a
which
women
was
there?
which was fantastic.
Is that the only one gonna clap? We have how many women in the room? Can we be acknowledged? Thank you.
And we're working through April now because we've already asked Billy about the planting of a tree because it's Earth Day on the 22nd. The Municipal Alliance will be doing a brunch on the 22nd, the same day, Earth Day.
So what you want to plan it on a Tuesday?
Yeah, if you can, Earth Day. We're working for the additional submissions for the time capsule,
Okay.
because the other ones are missing in action, the other submissions of a year ago.
Honestly, and maybe between the library closing and between a couple different people who've been involved, and actually take note, we know that the fire department made this time capsule here, and luckily I was in the time capsule that was buried before, that's in the room current. So we do have a document that we want to go along with each of the different items. So we will be attempting to track them down, whether they're in the clerk's office. With this new administration, there's been a lot of movement of things that used to be here and now they're not. So we do have to get a good list, and we're going to encourage, when I do my comments, I'm going to encourage each department, each person in this room to participate in some type of intentional way. But I'll come back to that, Dennis, if you don't mind. But we do appreciate you going and getting some additional items. But I'm hoping that it may be somewhere where we had to do the move with the library. It could have been down there where we had the items from the past, because we still have a couple items from the original time capsule that was buried. So we do need to try to see if, when the library flooded, if the movement of the different moving company coming in to get the items out of that area, that we maybe relocated them somewhere. So we do have to try to
And
figure it
also
out.
appreciate your suggestion that somehow the submitted items be labeled so that when they're unearthed 25
Yes.
years from now, as we found with the previous time, there were items and we didn't know what to do with them.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, actually, you know what, why don't, I know that we distributed this, and this might be just the perfect time instead of going back and forth. I'll just go out of turn, but everyone has the form for the time capsule items, and we've started actually collecting the items since the 4th. It's a 20-day window. We do have some items. We started last year at one of our events We invited all of the different nonprofit organizations to an event that was at Kane University that was beautiful at the graduate school. But that was the day where we started to get a lot of these different groups in town to start donating. So you're 100% right. We had about at least 10 different items that we collected even on that night. But this form is the new form that we're asking folks to either drop them at one of the two firehouses because they're the only department open 24 hours a day. We are thankful to the Chief Naples for allowing us to do that, but there will always be someone available. So what we're doing is the items need to have a form. You can make copies of this form. And this particular items, they have to obviously be big enough that they're gonna fit into a time capsule. So we have dates that are already scheduled. And those dates for the meetings to go over the items that will be collected are April 11th at 10 a.m., April 18th and 25th, both at 6 p.m. So we have a small committee of folks. Anyone in the room is more than welcome to participate in that. We have Deputy Chief Pelletieri, who is actually helping out with that particular process. But these forms will be all throughout town. We can have them emailed to you, but we encourage you to please take them with you at the end of today. On here, you'll also note that the time capsule, we're burying it the 364th day of the year, excuse me, which will be April 28th, 2014, from 6 to 8 p.m. right outside. We're really excited to be able to bury it within its first 100 years. We know that on April 29th, we will be 101. So we're really excited to be able to have our final centennial event, the 125th anniversary time capsule burial right outside on April 28th. When Billy talks, he'll probably talk a little bit about what you'll see coming shortly regarding how we're going to be promoting this, but we also encourage each and every one of you to make sure that you're doing this. The one thing I'm going to ask, one of the things we found in that original time capsule, there was a letter to the mayor, but there was also letters to each director. So we really encourage you to write a letter or to put something in the time capsule that you can pay forward to who will be here. It may be you, it may not be, but we hope that we have something to memorialize what it's like to be in town today. And these are, again, small items, but we really want to encourage each department. I see the chief, he has some ideas already, Chief Panarisi, that is, who has some ideas about what items can go in the time capsule, so we're looking forward to his participation as well. Are there any questions?
Are you finished now?
Yes,
Okay.
I am. That's, I have.
I don't want to
No, that's, I just wanted to.
infringe on Sam's time schedule here. The mayor had also spoken to me yesterday as far as the senior event, as far as Celebrate Hillside. And since May is Older Americans Month, that will be our theme for that month. We talked about we're going to have an open house kind of thing. It's Hillside Seniors at Work and at Play on May the 1st. We discussed the possibility of moving it a day earlier. I abruptly said no, and that's because there's a trip that day. But I might suggest, in adding to what you already have here, Municipal Employees Appreciation, April is still Volunteer Recognition Month. So kind of incorporate that also for volunteers throughout our community, whether it's health fair, the cleanup, it might be incorporated in a nice fashion. We don't have our definitive program for that day, but since we're trying to get a uniform dress code that day, have everybody wear their senior t-shirts, explain a little bit about how long they've been coming to the center, why they continue to come to the center, and hopefully motivate other persons to come to the center. So it becomes an informational thing, a show and tell, a look and see, whatever you want. We are at the other end of town. We probably have more people participate at our facility than frequents the municipal building and other facilities through the course of the day. There are some other issues that I raised last month. I hope we're going to get them corrected. has to do with Community Development Block Grant. We need that delegate. It's also timely
Thanks for bringing
because,
it up.
because of the fact Wednesday the 23rd, if you didn't get,
We got it.
it's the 40th celebration. We would be much remiss if we were not there for all of the years that many of our departments have gotten community development monies. So how do you go without having an official delegate?
Correct, and that came up at the last CDBG meeting, and the mayor will be appointing somebody, and they will be attending. Actually, it's a delegate and a alternate, so we will be doing that.
Originally, they had, because I attended for years still until...
Are you volunteering?
No, sir, no. At the last meeting, I think I expressed my feeling that when you're appointed as delegate to CDBG, they then want you to be on one of the functioning committees. It makes sense that those departments that could get appointed to buildings and grounds or whatever it is in CDBG, social services is inundated with potential people, right? So I could not serve well if I were put on a buildings committee.
Right, or the street improvements, yeah.
You know, I'd be fine on social services. There's
Right.
no room,
Right.
right?
Got it.
Well, one of the people.
But I've been an alternate
Right.
for many years. I filled in for
I filled in
for
for
Scott,
social
for
work.
Betty, for Dave.
It will be taken care of.
Very good.
And I hope that folks will also, who would like to participate or attend, that you will do so, because it would look nice, and actually, not just look nice, but I think it would be a good effort if we have a small delegation of representatives from the township.
Absolutely.